Hey everybody, this is Workforce Gaming. I am Brad, along here with Doug.
Hi.
So, this past 2 weekends, I think it was just for the
Mm.
weekends. I don't think you could play it during the week, but
No, you couldn't.
but you sound a little pissed about that.
A little
Uh,
bit. It's
Titanfall 2 had its first kind of open release. I think they called it a pre-alpha build. Was
something
that?
like that.
Yeah,
It was just a multiplayer beta. That's really all it was.
basically just a stress test for their servers for Titanfall 2, which is coming out soon. So we both put some time into this over the past 2 weekends. I think I played the first weekend and then Doug played the second weekend. So I don't know if the experiences were exactly the same. I know they tweaked and changed a couple things from one to the other, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did, but from what I could see, from a lot of the complaints from people, because neither we should first preface, I don't think either of us played Titanfall the first one.
Nope.
So I think a lot of the tweaks that they made were comments from Titanfall 1 players who are like, you guys f this up. It was good in the first one, so change X, Y, and Z. So we're probably not going to notice those things. So we're probably just going to talk about our impressions of Titanfall 2, having come new to the series, because Brad didn't own Xbox One at that time, and neither did I, so we didn't get to play the first one. And I was actually really excited for Titanfall 2, because the first one looked pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Oh, this
like
game's fucking amazing.
see, and I thought that, and then I played a couple more and went, this game's okay. Like I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not the greatest thing I've ever played in my life, but it's okay. It felt okay.
Are you? You know what it is? I have not played a Call of Duty since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1. I haven't
Yeah,
played
I'm
pretty much
Modern
any
Warfare. I'm Modern Warfare 2, so I'm not much further ahead than you are.
No, I think I just finished Black Ops recently or something.
Oh shit, that's right, I did.
Yeah, okay, so there we go.
Yeah, Black Ops 1 though, so it's still like forever ago.
Yeah, I just haven't played this type of multiplayer game in a long time. And honestly, this game to me was just like fucking mind blowing. Oh my god. I loved playing this game. Probably put like 5 hours into this weekend, which is like I'm sure somebody who's put in 20 is like
5 hours, pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you need to explain to me why this is so crazy awesome because I'm missing it.
I really like this game from kind of a personal experience, and that
Your personal experience with mechs and space combat.
pretty well. No, exactly. You know what it is? There's this game I played a really long time ago, and I always got it confused with the Armored Core. It was not called Armored Core. It was called Heavy Gear. And I used to play Mech Warrior as a kid a lot. And one of the things I didn't like about Mech Warrior, and one of the things I always want to change, is that there was never any people wandering around. Like on the map, like you're just in your mech suit.
Oh, like
sort
you,
of thing.
so you don't have the pilot aspect of it.
Yeah. And I remember there's a game called Heavy Gear, and Heavy Gear did have like human enemies on the ground too. And that to me, that's just mind blowing because there's a lot of mech games that don't have human enemies. It's just everything's mech. So for a long time, I remember like as a little kid, always wanting a game that was like basically Mech Warrior with humans you could get in and out of mechs and stuff. And I completely forgot that I actually wanted to play that game. Uh, and like and honestly, like like the name even Heavy Gear, like I completely forgot about. So it's been like, shit, 16 years maybe since I played that demo. It was like a demo I played a long time ago.
Like the
And it was
PSN
just,
magazine one or whatever.
oh no, this was like PC Gamer. This is an old
Oh,
game.
even more of a
Yeah,
classic.
yeah. This is like before MechWarrior 3, I even think. So I kind of forgot that I even liked that. I always wanted that type of game. So playing this game was like this huge like load of nostalgia, and it was kind of I always like to say this a lot. It's like those games you dreamed about as a kid. And I just forgot I wanted this game as a kid, and I just started playing. I was like, holy shit! Hey, it's that game I wanted when I was like 8, maybe 9. I don't know. I remember playing on like like maybe 2000, early 2000, maybe 99 or something like that. So I don't know. I love that aspect of gameplay switches almost completely. It's like you play an entirely different play style when you're in the mech versus when you're playing as a human, and I really like that aspect.
That's true. That is something that's unique to this. But again, or not again. I haven't said anything yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like that aspect, but I feel like that's something that happens in a lot of games. It's that vehicle combat thing. You get that in Halo a lot. And again, maybe this is just
hmm
me looking at it from I love like Halo's multiplayer is my all-time favorite multiplayer.
hmm
More recently speaking, there's some older games that we can get into, but
hmm
anyway, and looking at that, I just think of it the same way as, oh man, I just got into the Scorpion tank. I know I can run down 10 or 11 people here. Or, okay, I'm getting a
hmm
Banshee now. I can fly over this, drop some bombs on people. I have that extra step up from everybody else. And I feel like it's the
mhm.
same general concept of going like, okay, now I've got my Titan. Like I can go kill my 10 or 11 people, feel massive and awesome, and then it gets blown up, and then I'm just back to being a person again.
I think the difference though is because in Halo, like I guess you're fighting other people who are also in vehicles. The difference is like the enemy types you face off against in a Titan are very, very different. So like when you're fighting, like okay, a Titan fighting a Titan is a very different experience than a Titan fighting a
Oh
human or a
yeah.
human fighting a Titan. And then on top of that too, because the mode I played the entire time was bounty mode, where they have like AI guys come in. Did you play that one?
Interesting. Yes, I played one game of that and didn't really get it slash care for it slash wondered where this the straight multiplayer was. So I played like a game of that, and then I went to the more standard like 3 control point mode.
Oh, you made a horrible mistake because bounty mode is fucking amazing. No, so bounty mode, basically, people have I'll try to explain this really brief because I know a lot of people have played it. Basically, what it is, there's two teams, and what'll happen is that AIs will kind of come into the field. They'll drop in. So you kill like AI grunts, you can kill AI like these kind of like larger mechs, and you can also kill AI titans. So what happens is like there's these two teams like each shooting each other and trying to get money from killing each other and killing these AI characters. And then once the wave is over of AI, then you have to run to a bank and deposit your money into a bank.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's like this mix of capture the flag. Actually, it's kind of I haven't played Dota, but it kind of reminded me of that. Like there's these really easy AI characters to take out, so you can kind of like build up your level essentially. But it's really cool because it's this neat sort of it's almost like Dynasty Warrior because the grunts really don't take like
Yeah.
they take like no hits. You can just like obliterate them. So it goes from this like Dynasty Warriors like you just kill a bunch of guys, but then as soon as the bank hits, if you get killed, you lose half your money, and that person steals half your money. So there's like this mad dash for the banks. It's almost like capture the flag. But it's this really really cool, very very unique mode. And like once Titans start dropping in later in the match, it's I think the thing I like about it it's a multiplayer that is constantly changing the way you play all the time. I felt like Team Fortress 2 is like the only other multiplayer game I'm really familiar with. Like if you play a pyro, you know how to play a pyro and you play a pyro the entire time. But it's like you're constantly switching classes, you're constantly switching objectives. You're like it's just a really complex mode to even explain. So I really like that dynamic of how you play it completely changes as you go throughout the match. And I just oh my god. Oh my god.
See, and I think my issue with that is that was the first thing I went as I went, oh, what the hell's bounty mode? That sounds fun.
Mhm.
Opened it up and was like, oh, I'm just killing AI guys. Oh, what the? Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure this game out. I'll go play
Mhm.
Control Points or whatever it was called. And I think that complexity of it kind of almost turned me off from it because now you
Yeah.
describing it in my mind, I'm going, okay, that sounds way better than what I thought I was doing.
Yeah, and honestly, the only reason I knew how to play it was because I was listening to somebody on Easy. I don't listen to Easy Allies a lot, and like somebody on Easy Allies had explained the mode, and like they don't give you a tutorial on how to play that mode. And
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a very, yeah, it's a super complex mode, and there's a lot of weird layers to it, like how you're attacking, defending the banks. Should you go after grunts or should you actually hide if you have a lot of money? There's a lot of this cool interplay, but it's a very complex one that desperately needs a tutorial.
Yeah. And again, and I think and maybe that's where I come back from this in my mind going like, okay, yeah, it's just Halo. It's just control points. It's control points in Battlefield 4 or whatever, where, I got
Mhm.
my tank for a little bit and now I'm the best player in the game and now my tank's blown up, but I'm just back to being a grunt. Whereas your experience is much more this new thing that's come out of
Mhm.
this game and it's very specific to this game. So I guess maybe that almost that where we tailored our play to changed
Yeah.
our opinion a bit of this because in my mind gameplay had zero issue with the gameplay is great. I
Oh
love
yeah, yeah.
I love like the little grappling hook thing. I love climbing up on top of a Titan. Like I love all of that stuff. It was just it felt very okay, you've got these cool things, but I'm still doing the same thing I've always done. So now I'm really
Mhm.
curious maybe if I go back and put in a little bit more time into bounty mode, like what would that be like and how would that change my mind now understanding the core gameplay
Mhm.
and being able to go into the mode more because that was even my thing like I jumped in and like we said we never played Titanfall 1 so I jumped in and was like
Yeah.
the hell I'm a little dude where the hell's my robot like this is stupid.
I remember my first impression playing Bounty was like it's so complex because my girlfriend was watching me play and she was just watching me play. She's like, "Can you explain what you're doing?" And I thought for a second, I was like, "No, I cannot. There is a lot of things going on." Because she's just looking at the HUD. She's like, "What does that mean?" I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this stuff. The HUD is like crazy complex. And normally I hate that stuff. And like literally, I never use the HUD. I use the HUD to figure out like what the closest bank was or something like that. But yeah, it's a very complex thing, and I think that it's the one thing that sets to me like really sets Titanfall apart. And if you didn't get into that, then yeah, I could see it. I really do like how it plays though. It's like Call of Duty and Mech Warrior, which is fun.
Yeah, playing as the pilot versus playing as the Titan feel drastically different, which
Yeah.
is really cool. Because I feel like a lot of games like this, it's like, oh, I got in my big robot suit. Now it's the same game except my guns are more powerful. Whereas this,
Yeah.
you definitely had to think differently as a pilot and as a Titan, which is very cool and very unique to this game.
Yeah, and it's really crazy like how you can like prioritize targets and like because you sometimes like it is really the Titan battles like one on one are really tough. Like
Yeah,
you both have a lot of health that can be depleted really quick depending on how everybody's coordinated. But yeah, it felt like two. It felt like you could have made two different games out of these two systems. Like they're
yes,
that complete.
yes. One
And
definitely
that,
doesn't feel added on because that was my thought when I jumped in as a pilot was, oh, this is just like the time killing phase where it's like, oh, I have to do this stupid shit until I get my giant robot. But it is
yeah,
very much like you could, and I think there was a mode that was only pilots, and you could
yeah, I
very
didn't touch
much
that.
turn this into, yeah, same here. But you could very much, I could very much just see that being what the gameplay in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare might look like later on down the
Mhm.
road.
Yeah. So it's felt like yeah, it felt like that. I haven't played a lot of Call of Duty. I know recently they added sort of like a booster pack, jet pack, like wall running thing, kind of similar to this game. But it just felt like it is. I mean, it's by the guys at Modern Warfare, so it feels like Call of Duty, but it feels like Call of Duty with another game attached to it. But it's not like this weird sort of add-on thing. It's like it's clearly two different, completely different play styles going on the same map. And I don't know. I really I kind of appreciate its complexity because I feel like most deathmatch games they aren't as complex. There's like you go into control point mode because that is the one you're most comfortable with because there's a ton of games with control
Yeah,
point modes. And this one I like that it felt like it dared to do something different. Not even dared to do it, just like it did something that can't be readily explained. And they actually push that like that's the first mode it selects for you
yeah.
when you start a game, which I thought was really crazy because of. But really, it could have used like a little 5 minute explanation to turn
Oh
off the
yeah,
game or
that
something.
in the full game, I really hope there's a quick like, "Welcome to bounty mode. In this mode, your objective," that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
it could hide. I hate those stupid things. First off, but this is one of those things where it's like I'd hit skip, start playing, and go, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go back and watch that video."
Yeah, I mean, getting away from like gameplay and stuff like that, I thought the game was like pretty gorgeous. I was surprised how cool it was. Just a cool looking game to me.
Yeah,
Did you do?
even like beyond just the engine itself, just there were a couple scenes where or scenes. I mean, it almost felt like scenes, but there's a couple points where I had that one dude's in the Titan, and you just have this gang of like 3 or 4 people, kind of all buried up underneath it, trying to take this thing down as
Yeah,
pilots, and just those scenes and those parts in this where you're united as a team. It forces that element of teamwork. I'm gonna be honest. I don't play with a mic because I don't like talking to people.
yeah,
So I don't play with a mic, but instantly you could see like just bam, everybody knows what we're doing. Everybody has the same thing in mind as soon as you get these 3 or 4 people around it, which is just really cool. And it's really cool to see those things come down that way. And you get this big sense of accomplishment just from doing that. And the visuals with that and how all that goes in, these Titans feel massive.
yeah. It kind of reminds me like almost like a multiplayer. This is a really weird way to put it, but like a multiplayer Shadow of the Colossus. But it's when you're small, those Titans feel fucking huge.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like that thing could just step on me and I'm done. So
Yeah. So it is really satisfying when you have like 3 or 4 pilots like all jetting around, like jumping on top of it, ripping out its cores and stuff, and you can see like a panicked pilot, like when they're saying like zipping around trying to shoot everybody, and they just can't. Like they can't. Like I think the little guys are so fast that it is a really interesting visual seeing like this kind of like all these sort of swarm of ants kind of
yeah,
attacking this larger beast thing. Did you try the training mode at all or no?
nope.
Okay, because the training. Oh, you definitely should have training mode. So
I think I just went. I think when I sat down to play this, I went. I have like an hour and a half to sit down and play this right now. How can I get a good feeling for this game? Perfect control points. I know what that is. Done.
yeah, I think the thing that was because the training mode actually showed like I'll say a little taste of the single player. The map is the map they bring you to is this really crazy. It kind of looks like Earth, but there's these gigantic floating stone monoliths that are kind of like just like slowly hovering across the planet. And he's like, "This is what we're fighting for, man. Like their home planet is not Earth, and it doesn't look. It looks like a little bit like Earth, but it has this really cool like gravity, weird warping aspect to it. I was really shocked as like how good it looked. I was like, wow, I was like excited for the single player because like the multiplayer is like that's gonna be good, but the single player like this looks neat. Like the
Hmm.
these that whole like yeah like I said like that ant versus giant aspect on top of these kind of really unique environments. I don't know. This game is I'm shockingly excited for this game.
Yeah, so I guess that's where we can kind of wrap this up. Is
Hmm.
now having played it for a little bit, I know for me this was one of those. When I find that for $20, I'm gonna love the
Hmm.
hell out of playing Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Like, to what level are you excited about this now? Because you sound all in on this. Like,
Yeah. I think it's just because I think we've talked about this before. I think there's always those at the beginning of the generation you have like basically people trying to test concepts and test engines, and that's Titanfall 1 is like an interesting concept, and this just seems like whatever that next step is of like okay now we have fully instead of just a mechs versus pilots thing we have this fully realized universe and we can play around with the art and stuff. It has a lot of those. I love that aspect of like really strong art, really strong gameplay. This is definitely I'm not like gonna day one this game because I'm just not really into multiplayer, but I don't know, I'd probably get around like probably the first price drop.
but it is something
I'm
that you're
not.
excited to play now. Because I think before we were both
Yeah,
kind of when the first trailer dropped, I think we both went, "Ooh, that looks kind of cool."
yeah,
I don't know though. But
hmm
this is something you're all about now.
yeah. I'm very. Yeah, I'm oddly excited about it. I didn't think I'd be excited about it, and then once I played more and more of it, I was like, this is just I don't know. I thought it was amazing. I loved everything about it, which is really weird because I don't do multiplayer at all. But I'm not sure if I'm even excited for the multiplayer. I don't know. That game was awesome. I'm just
Well, that game's awesome. We'll leave it there. So,
yeah.
we are Workforce Gaming. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Leave some comments for us. We love hearing from you guys. You can listen to us on podcast stuff, iTunes, Google Play, and so on. And we will see you later.
Bye.